Listen, the president's poll numbers are approaching freezing, meaning they're in the 30s. You have an unpopular war and an equally unpopular economy. And now, Republican candidates are going to try to distance themselves. You have a better chance of trying to separate Siamese twins. It is dangerous. Right. And this notion of just Americans waking up and thinking, oh, you're not with the president as you have been for the past 2 years, just acquiescing all power to the Oval Office. Not only are voters smarter than that, but maybe the president's team is saying a little distance is okay. The president is not saying that. And as soon as you start distancing yourself publicly, you could get scorched by the orange sun, as well as the voters who just aren't buying it. So it's a very difficult thing for Republicans to even try to do right now.
You think about what his message is. We're 99 days away. And he's all over the place, including something that I want to play for you, Angela, because it's just very strange. Donald Trump has apparently done more for voters in the 7th District of Michigan than their parents have done for them. Let's play the tape if we can.
I've done more for you than your parents, okay? Your parents are good. I'm not going to knock your parents, but I have been better to you than your parents. That I can tell you. The golden age of America is upon us. We're in the golden age. This is an age like no other. We're having the single greatest year we've ever had as a country.
Angelo, I've done more for you than your parents. That sounds almost like Chairman Mao.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like the father of the homeland and what have I done for you, my children. It's really weird stuff.
It is weird stuff. It's a reflection of how he's currently thinking about himself. He's thinking about himself in those terms. He's totally high on his own supply. I mean, he really does see himself at that type of historic figure. And so it doesn't seem, it's effortless. But there's a deeper part to it, which is to make a comment like that, if you look at that audience, a lot of those people's parents are probably not there, and they're not really thinking about their parents. They're thinking about their kids. So it would work if he was speaking to younger people, but that's the group of his supporters that he's lost the fastest. The people guys under the age of 40 who gravitated to him last time are the fastest ones taking away support from Trump as his numbers continue to crater. And that's a reflection of just how disconnected he is from the space, how much they've sort of been turning on him, how much he's not. That's not a message that's going to appeal to them. They weren't there to hear that, and they know that he's not. He's not doing anything that they actually want. And that's going to be the core issue. And he's going to say more weird stuff like this. But I think it is really how he sees himself right now, and we're just going to have to contend with that.
I mean, it's very strange. But I don't know. Does he think it's a winning strategy? Like, does he? Matthew's like, no, he doesn't. I mean, we make all this, and my Republican friends are making all this hay about the fact that, they said they're giving some distance. I really think this is just a strategy from the White House to survive just a little bit. And I don't know if this is going to be able to solve the problem that they have. The problem was on full display in Milford earlier today. But Tom Barrett, who is the Republican candidate for the House, Michigan's 7th Congressional District, who currently represents it, he was there with the president today. He spoke on stage. And so in one breath, people are like, I'm not for some of these things. Like, trust me, we can get it done. We're going to do the things that maybe we haven't gotten to get done. I don't know what the president's talking about, but send me back to Congress. In another breath, they're standing on the stage with him. And the same thing happened in Georgia last week with the candidate for governor there. I don't understand it.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, listen, elections are always about the future. We're talking about Sleepy Joe, Fauci on Wednesday. Say what you want about, I'm a Republican, about Leader Jeffries. He unveiled an affordable American plan on Sunday. That's at least telling the voters something. Right now, we have nothing. We have no economic agenda. We are trapped in a war right now. I can't, and I talk to Republicans all the time, name a swing state where you want to put the president. I'm not sure he's helping in Michigan. I'm not sure last week was a help in Georgia. The president can draw out voters, but can equally draw out voters against him.
Why are they letting him go there?
Go where?
Anywhere. Why is Donald Trump on the campaign trail? This is crazy.
Who's going to tell him to stay behind home?
Oh, I thought Susie Wiles was a really good, effective chief of staff.
No, Susie Wiles, that's not her job. Her job is to just make sure that a bill gets paid and a light stays on and there's not a whole lot of screaming in the halls of the West Wing. That's, to avoid that kind of internal combustion around Trump. Donald Trump, as we have seen, and you have spoken eloquently on this repeatedly, has done everything that Donald Trump decides Donald Trump wants to do.
Yeah, without a doubt. And
There's no one to stop it. I just wanted to go back to emphasize the point with you real quick, Angelo. This idea that GOP lawmakers are disagreeing with Trump because they don't. Let's just listen to just a very short mashup of GOP lawmakers disagreeing with Donald Trump.
Has the president done anything so far this term that you disagree with?
No.
The
guy's doing great.
Greenland.
I suggest we probably try to give him a third term.
As one of the most conservative members of Congress, I agree with the president 99.9% of the time.
I'd have to sit there and think about it, and I just can't think of anything off the top of my head.
So far this term, has President Trump done anything you disagree with?
We're not going to speculate on that. No comment.
That's the best you can get is no comment, America.
yeah, they're either too scared or too stupid, right? And that's the first tell that where the state is. They sort of lost their ability to criticize him, even when they ostensibly get some permission to do it, which I don't actually believe. The second thing, and it's to your point, because about he does whatever he wants. He's sitting on $400 million in his super PAC. Now let's follow that money. How much is he spending on winning some of these races? They gave people a little bit of $0, right? Now that's all you need to know. What's it for? What's it for? I mean, it's for this. It's to win elections in theory. No, it's not. It's whatever he wants. And being able to hang that out there, and maybe he'll spend it against them. Who knows, right? He's willing to sabotage people. It keeps people in line. It keeps them sort of towing the line. It keeps them doing silly things like they just did, even with their own political survival in theory on the agenda. And that's it. And I just think about the money, and it's whatever the hell he wants.